Earth's pole shift update and the 5D shift. Alexander Light of Humans Are Free reports, it's high time in spiritual circles that we opened our eyes to natural Earth catastrophe cycles, such as the Great Flood of the Old Testament, that are clearly repeating through history. A recently declassified CIA document details distinctly a plausible science showing pole shifts detach the Earth's crust from underlying mantle, leading to global devastation of biblical proportions. I share reference because it's my knowing that we're moving into such a meteoric window of transforming right now. It's essential to be informed because it greatly influences our shift of consciousness, and it's time to detach allegiance to the old reality construct and allow ourselves to float within a much more dynamic elevation of being. The cyclical pole shift. Earth crust displacement theory is nothing new. It's been proposed several times in the past and even supported by Einstein at one point, although a crucial key to the science has previously been missing until, that is, the declassification of the recent CIA documents. And there's an embedded video here you can watch as well. Now, what we have from the past in mythologies around the world are corroborative stories of sudden and dramatic floods going back through history that have decimated the Earth's surface. But we also have clear geological evidence supporting very sudden upheaval of the crust. We have biological evidence in the fossil record of powerful floods followed by abrupt freezing. The likelihood is that some of these cataclysmic events were caused by the completion of a cyclical pole shift that unhinges the Earth's crust from the underlying mantle and flips the continents around like peel detaching from an orange. Such a shift would unleash unimaginable storms across the surface of the Earth, 2-mile-high deluging waves, and rivers of magma bursting up through the crust. Little sophisticated life would survive, and its essential awakened people hoist the history on board. We're perhaps 30 to 50 years away from the current pole shift completion, which is tying in with abrupt climate change, the lowering of the Earth's magnetic field, shield, and the increased probability of solar plasma radiation, leading to what some in New Age circles have prophesied as the event, quote-unquote. Quote, personally, despite the copious evidence of wide and diverse sources, all stacking up pointing clearly to an epic conclusion of our current karmic construct, I still won't be sharing it if I did not already know that this is building for our immediate future. I have seen it as future landing now, within the morphing space-time continuing. It's what I saw during my car crash incarnation back in 2002, described in the book 5 Gateways. Why speak of it now? I still feel like humanity is sleepwalking to the cliff edge, including the spiritual mainstream. I can understand why there have been too many stories and fantasies of biblical catastrophe, why pay attention to another one, and how does it serve the emergence of consciousness? But what if there's truth connecting many of the underlying stories? What if the scientific evidence is already stacking up towards the completion of another cyclical cataclysm? But the biggest question of all then is, how would your life change if you knew deep within your consciousness that such a dramatic conclusion, powerful transformation, was about to unfold? What would you do differently now? And how might it catalyze tremendous inspiration for change within you? Dealing directly with fear? Of course, it would be the fear to deal with, which is why so many don't want to venture there, but fear is a double-sided coin offering the very gateway to your expanded cosmic self. You know, everything is of consciousness, everything is shaped by it. Some conscious fear is the only thing that separates you from your divine birthright. But it's a direct confrontation of it, rather than burying it, that is the liberating force. People break through into their divine selves when they break through some kind of fear. That's the only thing holding humanity in limitation at this time. Quote, humanity has a tremendous opportunity right now. When reality shifts and shapes only slowing over a long period of time, the mirrors are less strong. You could cozily sleepwalk through life, but where you're suddenly confronted with a rapidly transforming landscape, For those not burying their heads in the sand, there's much greater inspiration to take note. If you know how to look within the constrictive reflections such as transformation catalyzes, then you now have a tremendous engine to break through. Is exactly how I came to develop Open Hands Breakthrough Approach. Without further ado then, take time to watch the video below from very well informed and articulate suspicious observers about the recently declassified CIA document. Exactly why did they declassify it in the first place? It's quite technical, however. What's really striking from a spiritual point of view and impactful are the first 7 minutes. And the commentator's approach comes for more of a point of writing it out, how you might do that, as opposed to the open hand approach, which is more to go with the soul and take whatever shows up. That's the real point for me. How can the enormity of it set you free? So what is your immediate response to the information? It's pretty convincing, and people around the world can all feel we are moving to some kind of epic upheaval. You might be a degree numbed or shocked by it. It might be an inconvenient truth, but you initially want to turn away from, but don't. This is a very real cyclical process. This has happened before, and it will happen again, and that's why the document was classified in the first place, and then heavily sanitized when eventually it was released. So this is a very real and plausible landscape that we're actually moving into right now. My reflection to you is that I know it's going to happen. It's what drew me, it's why I'm here, and there is absolutely nothing to fear about this. The only issue to confront is the very fear itself. From the moment you were born and all life, you were immediately on a trajectory to your death, to your passing on. Fear is a double-sided coin and is a tremendous gateway. Fear is what limits people into the smallness of life, but when you confront it and soften through it, and my article explains how, then it's like taking the top off the genie's bottle. You expand into the bigger picture, the macrocosm, your miraculous cosmic self, and that's why humanity and the planet summoned this. That's why you choose to incarnate in this particular time in history. Your spiritual mastery beckons, a new home in the new paradigm at a higher vibration beckons. Why not seize your destiny? There are plenty of us here at this time who already know they choose these particular circumstances to help others break through and to forge their own soul in the process. Even the children right now are incarnating with vibrational frequencies that greatly help in this unraveling process, the Earth's great realignment. I wrote my article to cause you to step out of the shell, to stop playing small, to be inspired to transcend any arising fear and use it as a vehicle for your immaculate expansion, and the universe is open to you. So what now? Living the shift, it's all about choosing where your loyalty now lies. Is it in the old paradigm of control and restriction, where we live small and manipulated lives, in a reality which is progressively degrading? Or do you choose the emergence of your very own soul, which is yearning to break free? It's time to live large, to live the shift in all the daily choices you make. It's about learning how to tune into your soul on a moment-by-moment basis and coming from there. And you have time. I'd say we have a window of at least 3 decades, possibly several. It's enough for anyone that's truly committed to peel off the veils leading to your enlightenment and ascension. It's enough to inspire some of those around you to do the same. There are already plenty of people realizing themselves and stepping forwards to encourage others. And in conclusion, there are 2 ways you can look at this. 1, either you keep pushing the inconvenient truth away, which is the truth of your soul that wants to break through and emerge, and 2, you can be inspired by change and use this as the engine of your immaculate emergence. You can strip off any fear that keeps you in the box to step out and then live a bounteous life of magic and miracles. If you knew you had absolutely nothing to lose because you don't, which one would you choose? Now let's step out and be all that we can be, and let's live the shift. In loving support, Open on behalf of Open Hands CIA document. 5 gateways, profound route map for spiritual evolution. This is on Humans Are Free, and I'll leave a link below for you for this. You can watch the embedded video. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.